You do not pay at all to join a class action. In a class action, files are run on a contingency basis, and the lawyers are only paid in the event the case is successful. Contingency means that we do not get paid unless we recover money for the class members. So fees on a class action are typically 33%, which would mean that in the event there's either a settlement of the class action or we receive a judgment at the end of a trial, 33% of the award would be paid in legal fees. But unlike a normal contingency file, class action fees must, regardless of the agreement signed, be approved by the presiding judge. Unless you're the representative plaintiff, there's actually nothing for you to do. Class actions are run on behalf of a group of dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of people, but typically there will be between 1 and 3 what are called representative plaintiffs. Those people are the ones who give instructions to the lawyers and participate in every step of the process, including giving evidence. If you're a member of the class but you're not a representative plaintiff, there's literally nothing for you to do but follow along with the updates on the website of the firm that's running the class action. Class action starts with a lawsuit being issued, and it will ultimately be defended. There will then be what is called a certification hearing. Just because I start a case as a class action, it doesn't get to continue as a class action unless a judge determines that it's an appropriate case to proceed as a class action. That's called certification. Once the case is certified, it typically proceeds through examinations for discovery, often a mediation, and at the end of the day, if it still hasn't settled, a trial. The range of time to resolve a class action can be anywhere from 2 years, assuming it settles relatively quickly, up to perhaps 8 or 10 years if it goes all the way to trial. The law firm, such as us, Diamond & Diamond, that's running the class action, will always have updates on their website so that people can follow along with what's going on in the case. The class action is unsuccessful. Unfortunately, it means that nobody that's a member of the class is going to receive any money. However, there's also no cost to the class members. I, as the lawyer, bear the cost of running that case. It's not uncommon in a class action that we would join forces with other law firms. Unlike different types of litigation, in a class action, only one law firm ultimately can be the one to carry forward the case in each province, and therefore often more than one firm will start a similar class action, and they will join together in what's called a consortium, where the firms will work together on behalf of the class to advance the case. You can choose to opt out of a class action. Around the time of certification, there will be a period of time, and it will be posted quite publicly on the website of the firms running the class action, during which you can fill out a relatively simple form to do what's called an opt-out. And if you opt out of the class action, it simply means that you would not share in any success on the class action, and you would then be free to go and start your own individual action if you wish to do so. Assuming you were to die before the class action concludes, your estate could continue to represent you in the class action. If you are the representative plaintiff or one of the representative plaintiffs in a class action, then it is you on behalf of the class who would be attending court to give evidence. If you're a member of the class but not the representative plaintiff, then you would not appear to give evidence at any time. Doesn't really matter where you live. If you're a member of the class, you're a member of the class. You could live in another province, you could live in another country. It wouldn't necessarily matter. A class member would be anybody that is affected by the circumstances of a class action. So, for example, if we talk about, let's take a particular class action, Roundup, and people that have suffered cancer as a result of using the pesticide Roundup, there is a class definition in that lawsuit that anybody that used that product during a particularly defined period of time and then subsequently became ill as a result would qualify to be a class member. And again, if you go to the law firm websites of the firms that run the class actions, it will make very clear who fits the definition of a particular class.